Do you know one of the ways that I think is a really nice way to orientate our lives is to be in service to our future self? Whether that future self is in a few hours' time or whether it's in many years' time, doing things for our future self brings this feeling that feels good. One of the things you might notice, for example, with cooking, let's say if you're going to cook, generally speaking, it feels nicer to cook for other people than feels to cook just for ourselves. And it feels to me like when we do things for others, if we're hosting, if we're making a gift for somebody, it brings a nice feeling to us. And I think that when we do that, but the person that we're trying to please is future us, it brings such a nice loop. Like if you're saving money for your future self, if you're signing up for an allotment for your future self, if you're planning a trip for your future self, and you take your future self in mind as if your future self was your icon, was your God, was who you wanted to please, who you wanted to make life beautiful for. And we often do that for our children. Some people even do that for their pets. But can we do that for ourselves, for our future self? Like we talk a lot about being in the present, and being in the present is, of course, important and relevant. Otherwise, we miss life completely if we're not present to it. But organizing ourselves, creating pathways to our future that are solid and good, so that our future self has got good food to eat, has got a nice place to spend their time, has got a comfortable bed to sleep in, they've got enough money. Doesn't it just feel nice to be tending your future self as if your future self was important? Sometimes it can feel really difficult to put ourselves first, but it can be a bit easier to put our future selves first. So see what happens if you start orientating yourself towards your future. And it's not to say ignore the present, don't spend a penny now, put it all away for future self. I don't mean it like that, but having your future self included in your life, that you know you're going to get older, you know there's going to be a future, and you're taking preparations for it. You're doing something to help your future self. It helps you almost immediately. You know, I remember when my daughter was 7, I decided I wanted to start saving money for her 18th birthday. I wanted to give her money. We had no money at all. And I started saving £20 a week, which felt like a fortune. You know, £20 a month, which even that felt like a fortune to me at the time. But because I was taking care of future her, it was another way of taking care of future me because it was my child. It was the feeling I was taking care of the future me that wanted to be giving the gift. That was the one that I was taking care of. But I became a saver. I became a person. I save money, and it changed my outlook completely. So it has a manifold benefit. There was the future self that when she was 18 and I was able to give her money, obviously I was delighted about that. But in the meantime, I'd become a person who can save. And that stood me in good stead even beyond her 18th birthday. So think about your future self. If you don't know who you're aiming for, if you don't know what to please, think about tomorrow's self. Think about tonight's self. Think about next week's self, next month's self, and see if it helps. I think it might.